It's 10 p.m., time for the Good Life Show with Jon Robert Quinn. Tonight, Quinn welcomes Robert Doucet and Dial Leo Heating and Air. Tonight's show is brought to you by Pest Control Center. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, Sacramento. How are you doing? I'm your host, Jon Robert Quinn, and tonight we've got Robert Doucet and Dial Leo Heating and Air. My opinion, the best heating and air in town, and it's like 106, and there's a reason why he is the best. So we're going to get into him in the second segment, but let's get into Robert Doucet. How you doing?
Pretty good.
How is everything for you, brother?
Things are doing very well.
You've got a very informative message for us today.
Oh, yeah.
But before we get into that, who are you? Tell me a little bit about you.
Well, I've been doing real estate for about 25 years now.
Almost as long as I've been alive, right?
Pretty much. Yeah. Do you shave yet, by the way?
I do.
Okay. Then we're okay. So 25 years. But my background is title and escrow lending, and then, of course, real estate and real estate management, and then serving on the board of directors for the Sacramento County Association of Realtors as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How long have you been with them?
Well, I've been doing that for a year now. And then prior to that, I actually did a lot of real estate down in the Bay Area as well. So, I sat on the board of directors down there.
What part?
Santa Clara, in Silicon Valley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where the money's at.
Well, with a lot of money.
Yeah, there's a lot of money.
But surprisingly, there's a lot of money up here, too.
Well, there is, of course. We've got El Dorado Hills and Granite Bay and Rockland and Loomis. And
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's it's obviously growing, and
it's growing leaps and bounds. Right
yeah,
now.
you got Intel, and now Amazon's building another plant down in Elk Grove, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
awesome. So, family, kids.
Yeah, well, so my wife and I, between the two of us, we have 7 children.
Wow,
so
that's awesome.
4 in college, 3 still at home, 2 high schoolers, and 1 elementary.
You look like you're a little on the young side to have kids in college and high school.
Well, good thing facelifts work pretty good, you know.
Did you use Marcus Allen's? Is
that a next segment?
That's awesome. So, kind of what got you into this business, and what do you love about it?
Interesting enough, I got into the business by accident.
Isn't it funny how that works?
You never know what life's going to throw at you. I was in the Air Force. I've got a son who's at the Air Force Academy right now. He's graduating next year as a senior. But I enjoyed flying personally, privately. I thought I was going to get into the commercial airlines at one point, and a friend of mine says, "Oh, no, you got to get into title insurance," and I had no idea what that was. Of course, now I do.
So you went from being a pilot to getting into title insurance.
Yeah, interesting when you get out of the military, you should probably look to see if the airlines are in a hiring freeze or not. So, just a small smidgen of an issue. Oh yeah. Thinking everything was great, and you get out and it's not. So that was back in the 80s, of course. So
where were you stationed?
I was stationed at Cape Canaveral.
Okay.
Did that for a couple of years, and then I was stationed up in Japan for 3. And
I was born in Lakenheath.
And that's somewhere east?
Ralph Mildenhall.
Okay, that's over in Germany, maybe?
Europe, England.
Okay. See, that's how much I know about. I've never been.
Never been?
I've never been to the Europe.
That's not a shocker, considering you thought it was in Germany.
See, there you go. See, I know my geography locally.
He's a pilot. He's like, yeah.
Which way's north?
I don't think they were in a hiring freeze. I don't think that was the issue. You wrote your name upside down on the bottom of the paper.
All kinds of things. You kind of scratch your head going, well, but it sent me in a different direction that awesome. And got into real estate. And, it just became a good passion for me once I developed the skills and working with the public and reading people and paying attention, and of course doing.
It's so amazing what you learn just like talking to people.
Well, you more listening than talking.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When you're talking to people, you're learning about yourself by the responses that it's awesome.
It really is, and you develop a really good skill set as far as dealing with folks, and because you're involved in their lives for a short period of time, and hopefully longer after the fact. Mm-hmm. But and you really have to want to be there, and a lot there. We get our black guys like every industry because we have the people that don't really do their fair job.
But it's about investing in people.
It really is. It really truly is investing in people's lives.
You have to be. I mean, I get pitched every day for something wanting to join their business or do this or do that, and it's like, it's all about money. I'm not interested in money.
Money only comes because there's something that's successful happens.
You give something and they give something monetary back. I mean, you got to give yourself, and then they're going to give you either their self back or they're going to give you something monetary, food, money, whatever. It's a barter system regardless.
Correct.
So you put in 150%, they're going to give you 150% back.
Yeah.
Last week we had, I'm not going to say the names or anything, but I was given a $50 tip last week on the show. It was the first time it ever happened. But here, the cool thing about it, and I'm not, saying that everybody needs to tip me. No, it was I gave so much that they felt that it needed more than what they were given, right? That's the way it should always be in business, and not expect anything more than what you're asking.
Right.
And sometimes just don't even take it. But he was super insistent. But the point being is that with what you're doing, the reason why you're successful in your business is because you give everything.
Yeah, I'm completely involved in the process, finding out what's causing issues beyond the real estate. It's way beyond real estate. It goes back to what I said earlier about, what's going on in their lives. It's wealth building because through the process of real estate,
education.
It's educating the process, helping them to understand the process. It's not just walking them through it and being done at the end of the transaction. Because if it's that way, that's the guy who's saying, "Oh, you're just in it for the commission." And that's the person who really is.
I was just talking to Cupcake Craving, actually, and a radio station had approached them to do some commercials and gave them the whole thing. And he asked me, is this a good deal? I looked at it and I said, what are you getting? And he showed me all the numbers and I went, no, it's not. And he goes, why? Why isn't it a good deal? I said, because he wants a commission check. Simple as that.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
And you know what the thing is? You can see those kind of real estate agents. And I don't mean to be bad talking anybody because
we're not bad talking. We're just presenting facts.
But the public's pretty savvy about that. Yeah. They can see that guy.
Correct.
Or gal.
Correct.
So
make the phone call and talk to him.
Yeah.
I talked to him and I'm just like, nope. Nope. Like, sorry. No, not what I'm looking for.
No.
But so what do you love about this business?
Oh, you can't.
The smiles, obviously, right?
You can't love this business unless you love the people, right? And you get all different walks of life and directions that they're coming from, and problem solving and helping them to problem solve, and watching them succeed in what they're trying to achieve. Right. So, and that's the elation that a good realtor gets, and they, a lot of us do a lot of bulk business, but there's never a time within each of those transactions that we don't feel something like that. And there's disappointments too, that you didn't achieve, what you were hoping to achieve, or you didn't get, in the negotiations, everything that you needed, or the one most important thing that you were hoping to get for them. And, you the trials and tribulations, but, if you succeed more than you lose, then you're doing a great job.
For me, I mean, if I was a realtor, I think that the gratification for me wouldn't be the check at the end. It would be seeing the family come to me with a problem. Okay, correct. We've got a baby coming, or we got a kid that's going into it and he's going to a better school. Husband's being transferred to the other end of town or another city, or whatever the case is. And then going to find a home, and you're sitting there and you're trying to find the perfect home for this family. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, you make the decisions for the type of home in order to show them, and then they make the decision to move into the home. And then the smiles once you give them the keys, and they're able to start a family or continue or grow their family in that home.
And interesting, you touch on a very important part of the process, and processes are everything. When it comes to buying, working with a buyer and helping them to buy a home, I have a very, I wouldn't call it unique, but I've got a process where I can get them into the home. Sometimes on the very first day we go out and see homes, and it's a step A to Z process that basically is a plan of action that moves people forward in the process painlessly and effortlessly. And there's a lot of pleasure that comes from that because it's like, wow, I thought it was going to be harder, or I've heard that it's supposed to be harder. Well, it can be if you make it, but if you're really, as an agent, if you're asking a lot of the questions up front and you're really paying attention to what people are really telling you, and you're setting the expectations correctly, then there's no reason why they can't find a home in the very first time out. Now, some people want to see 50 homes, and I get that.
They're wasting their time. They're
wasting their time because the reality is, if I've done my job in the beginning.
You can show them the home that's actually going to fit their mold.
And a lot of times, it's usually the first home we see, because they still go see others, but it's usually the first home they see that they realize, wow, they fell in love with that. That was the house, and you hit it right from the get-go.
Because they set that expectation, you set the expectation, they saw the home, they looked at the home, they fell in love with it, but they wanted to see what else was out there.
Sure.
And then they were comparing all of those other homes to the first one.
Sure.
And it's done.
Yeah, my process is to eliminate homes, versus, hey, you got to buy this home, or this is the home for you. That doesn't work for me. I almost feel like I'm that would be like shoving somebody into a home, which we don't want to do.
You don't ever do that.
I try to find reasons not to buy a home. Because when you find a reason not to buy the home they can't find that reason, then that home is speaking volumes to them.
Let's pick up on that because I use exactly the same philosophy for the show. We're going to go to a commercial break. We'll be right back with more from Robert Doucet.
As I drive down the road,
If Paul Revere was in the pest control business, his famous ride might have sounded something like this.
The termites are coming, the termites are coming, the termites are coming.
There's a pest for every season, so get ready because the termites are coming. I'm Steve Scoville, the president of Pest Control Center. For a termite, a home that goes unchecked is like ringing the dinner bell. The damage that termites cause to properties every year is in the millions of dollars. Our state licensed inspectors have the experience you'll need to make sure that your home and property are free from termites and the damage they cause.
Save your home, your property, and some money too. $75 off a complete termite inspection and $75 off any other Pest Control Center service. Log on at pestcontrolcenter.com. That's pestcontrolcenter.com. Or give them a call at 344-4400. 344-4400. Get rid of those termites today. Call 344-4400.
Pest Control Center, we treat your home like our own.
I just spoke with my husband's doctor. She told me I need to start making funeral arrangements. I don't know what to do.
My dad had a beautiful military funeral, and we used all seasons burial and cremation. The funeral home set us at ease and took care of everything the way we wanted. They also have very affordable prices, so we could grieve the loss of our loved one, not the loss of our money.
Go to allseasonsburial.com to explore funeral options without overspending. Allseasonsburial.com, Sacramento's affordable solution.
as I drive down the road of my car, as I drive down the road of my car.
Welcome back to the Good Life Show with Jon Robert Quinn, sponsored by Pest Control Center.
Welcome back to the Good Life Show. I am your host, Jon Robert Quinn, and we are talking to Robert Doucet. Unbelievable, man. That first segment was phenomenal.
Well, thank you.
It's so funny. We've had, 5, 6, 7 realtors on the show, and every single one of them bring a completely different approach, a different idea, different concept. But essentially, they all do the same thing, but they all do it a different way.
So now they get
And, of course, they appeal to different people.
Right, and the consumer gets to choose which one they think is best for them.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So what's going on with the market? Prices and inventory are both going up. That kind of it goes against, supply and demand. What's kind of going on with this thing?
Well, I think you hit that right on the nail, supply and demand. Well, we're not seeing the supply, and that those that are on the market are, in some cases, getting multiple offers. I mean, it's a very competitive market right now.
So in terms of, but the prices are going up, but then the demand, there's more inventory coming, but the prices are still going up.
Well, the demand is still there. The demand is still very strong, although we're seeing a slight, fall off in the marketplace. The Bay Area, I've got my connections down there that I keep close to and finding out because that wave generally comes this way and, and does affect us. So, they're seeing a slowdown. They're seeing price reductions that are happening right now. Because a lot of that has to do with the overseas markets because they're getting a lot of people that influx in from overseas because of all the, the high tech that's down there as well.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm seeing your cupcake there already half eaten. Did you?
That's very good.
Did you enjoy that before we were supposed to? It says on the sheet here, it says eat cupcake in segment 2, but he's like chopping before we even go on the air.
Well, you kind of put it in front of me.
So every week, Cupcake Craving gives us these cupcakes. I love my red velvet. Cupcake Craving located at 2100 Arden Way. They actually make cupcakes with my face on them.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. They actually do that. It was the funniest thing. My mom goes, "You look like Peter Griffin when you're eating cupcakes on the air." That's what she told me. Thanks, Mom. I'm not even wearing green pants.
Yeah, my wife makes those red velvet cakes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gained a lot of weight. I had to stop.
So, did you know that you can get a free cupcake on your birthday?
I did not know that.
So, Cupcake Craving, go over to Cupcake Craving, located again, 2100 Arden Way. Present your ID on your birthday, get a free cupcake. You can request a cupcake with my face. They will literally make it. They use this rice cake and they print it with like this food coloring ink. And they print my face on the cupcakes, and they actually make cupcakes with my face on them, which is the funniest thing. But, or you can go, always give them a call, 916-923-5995 or cupcakecraving.com. We're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff with Cupcake Craving. We're actually filming a little web series now, where every week I go in there and see what they're working on, just at random times with the camera. And the whole idea is to really make the family behind Cupcake Craving kind of stand out from the product in itself. And we're going to be pushing that through their social media website channels, our social media and website channels. And it's just a phenomenal product. It's really awesome stuff. But give them a call. Like I said, 916-923-5995. And my little Jay Leno spin where I take a bite and then get back to work. But let's kind of get back into everything here. What can people do? This is your message. This is what you've been waiting for.
Oh, yeah.
Bum, 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 bum. What can you do
the epiphany
to prevent from killing a deal, essentially, in terms of a seller, right? Buyers, we already know. You're going into escrow and you turn around and buy a car. Guess what? DTI just jumped up. You just killed your deal.
Right.
Sellers, how are sellers killing deals?
So this is where the savvy agents, and there's several of them in the Tri-County area here, but there's a lot that still do not do this. And that a seller, a lot of transactions tend to come back to the market or fall through and come back to the market. And a lot of it has to do with inspections that are revealed when the buyer comes to the house, and there's no inspections, pre-inspections done up front. And so, a buyer gets inspections, it reveals some significant issues, and of course that surprises the seller because the seller's been living there for so long and they never saw that problem before. So how can this be? The buyer looks at that saying, well, I'm not buying this house because that's just too much, I'm scraping everything I can to get into the property.
Yeah, sometimes it becomes more trouble than it's worth.
Pretty much. So you have an impasse. That tends to happen, and the deal falls apart, and then, even when there's multiple offers, this happens. Sellers really can help themselves in several different ways by getting inspections to their property done up front prior to going to the marketplace. Because it'll reveal, one, they'll know what they're selling. It'll reveal anything that's going on with the house that they weren't unaware of. There's always the minor stuff, and that we never sweat the small stuff. It's usually the big stuff that really causes the problems and the hiccups. Two, the buyers then get a free look at the property, before they make the offer. So even if the buyer's not making the offer because of those inspections, at least the buyer and seller didn't get into a contract just to fall out later, because the buyer found out the same thing that they would have, they found out earlier. So it helps the process, and now you're truly selling a property for what it's worth and for what it offers you. There's another factor here though, and that's the contingencies. And contracts are built for buyers' first right of refusal. So when a buyer makes an offer, that buyer has the right to go through contingencies and inspections, and that the seller takes an inherent risk of taking their house off the market for 2 weeks at a time, depending on. Well, when that whole process blows up, that's 2 weeks they've lost in momentum on the marketplace. Mm-hmm. And that's so unnecessary for a seller to do when they could do that. Secondly, when they've got the pre-inspections done up front, in part of the negotiations, a seller has the ability to negotiate a reduction of that period of time because the buyer's already got a free look. They already know what they're buying. There might be maybe an additional inspection or two, but it's not going to take them 2.5 weeks to do it, or even 2 weeks for that matter. So the seller gets to reduce the total number of days off market, from an inspection standpoint. Then it leaves it just to the loan and the appraisal. So if the listing agent's done their job, they know where that line in the sand is when it comes to the value of the property. And hopefully the sellers listen to them. And of course, everybody wants, a couple $1,000,000 for their home, and I get it. And we do the best we can to get them highest and best. That's what we're always after. So, but if that's the non-issue and it's just a lending, well, now if you're bringing your stuff to the table and I'm looking at you and I'm calling your lender and I'm making sure, because having my lending background, now I'm able to really dig in to make sure that you're really truly qualified, that letter is not just some, piece of paper.
What can people do to look out for without, obviously I recommend having an inspector actually come out and review this process and review everything. I'm sure Leo feels exactly the same way, but before the whole process takes place and it blows up in your face. Sure. But what can people do to kind of take a quick inspection? Obviously they can walk around the property and look for cracks. They may not see anything, but what can they do?
See, agents are required to do that anyway. So unless there's
they?
That's mandated. By law, they've got to do it.
Okay.
If they don't, that's just open your checkbook. But,
fair enough.
But the whole thing here is that there are things that you don't see, that you can't visually get under. If you've got a crawl space, how many times have you crawled into the home? How many times have you gone into your attic and crawled around your attic, right? So these are things, and how many times have you opened up your electrical panel and really dug in, taking all the knockoff panels and everything and really looking into the wiring? Most people won't do that because
do you see horror stories when you're out there?
Oh, definitely, every day. Especially like yesterday, we went to house where this lady called to us like, no, cool. We verified pretty much it was dealing with electricity. It's like overheated wiring. We take care about this stuff.
Dude, that's a deal killer right there.
Unless the seller's willing to repair it. But if their seller gets an unexpected $5,000 repair, because he has to upgrade his panel and do some electrical work, that's a surprise. He's not ready to make that decision.
Yeah, he just thinks that the AC doesn't work.
Correct.
And he discloses it to the realtor, hey, AC's not working. They're probably going to need a new machine. What's a machine going to cost? Probably the same, but now they might need a machine too.
I've got one transaction right now that we're getting ready to write an offer on, and we walked into the property, looked around, they loved the house. I looked up, saw the house, the roof is shot. I could visit,
just look at it, yeah.
Just look at it and tell because of my experience. So immediately I got on the phone with the listing agent and said, hey, look, what's your plans for the roof? They said, well, we're not going to do anything about it. That's why we're priced the way we are. My folks said, we're not going to buy it without a roof.
Yeah.
Well, we were able to convince the seller, hey, we'll pay you a couple extra dollars. Go fix the roof.
Right.
That's what they're doing right now. And so we're in the middle of now negotiating for the property.
Crazy, crazy stuff. All right, call to action. How do people get in contact with you? What's all your contact information? And, in terms of the quality of the service that you provide, it speaks for itself. You are all about the people and educating and making sure people are getting what they're supposed to be getting, doing people right. But how do people get in contact with you?
So the best way to reach me, there's two ways. There's my cell phone and my email. Okay. And I'm on both. And my wife even tells me stop at 9 o'clock
Don't they?
But you know what?
I answer the phone and woke my wife up at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Well, now I won't go that far, yeah. But if somebody's calling me at 1, they better not be to ask how the weather is. But, yeah. The 916-850-9918 is my cell phone.
One more time.
916-850-9918. And, of course, my email, it's real simple. It's robertdoucet@gmail.com. And the last name is D-O-U. I always have to, all my life I have to pronounce this. D-O-U-C-E-T. So robertdoucet@gmail.com.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take all his information, push it through our social media. You'll be able to find everything at thegoodliferadioshow.com. We're going to go to a commercial break and come back with Dial Leo, the AC guy.
As I drive down the road of my car, as I drive down the road of my car.
If Paul Revere was in the pest control business, his famous ride might have sounded something like this.
The termites are coming, the termites are coming, the termites are coming.
There's a pest for every season, so get ready because the termites are coming. I'm Steve Scoville, the president of Pest Control Center. For a termite, a home that goes unchecked is like ringing the dinner bell. The damage that termites cause to properties every year is in the millions of dollars. Our state licensed inspectors have the experience you'll need to make sure that your home and property are free from termites and the damage they cause.
Save your home, your property, and some money too. $75 off a complete termite inspection and $75 off any other pest control center service. Log on at pestcontrolcenter.com. That's pestcontrolcenter.com. Or give them a call at 344-4400. 344-4400. Get rid of those termites today. Call 344-4400.
Pest Control Center, we treat your home like our own.
I'm Jon Robert Quinn, host of The Good Life Show here on 105.5, and I want to welcome you as a guest on the show. Every weeknight at 10 p.m., we showcase a different local business, helping them reach a larger audience, helping them grow their business. After we record your show, we put it into standard rotation, airing that episode every 3 to 4 weeks indefinitely. Tune in weeknights to 105.5 at 10 p.m. for The Good Life with Jon Robert Quinn, and join us online at thegoodliferadioshow.com. See you soon.
As I drive down the road of my car, as I drive down the road of my car.
Welcome back to The Good Life Show with Jon Robert Quinn, sponsored by Pest Control Center.
Good evening, Sacramento. How are you? Welcome back to The Good Life Show. We've got Dial Leo here. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. First of all, I would appreciate for nice opportunity to Quinn and Steve to be on station. It's a nice hot day in Sacramento.
Yeah, and it's nice and cool in here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's for sure.
The AC works.
It works.
So, kind of tell us a little bit about your backstory. I mean, you are... When I don't remember who it was. Somebody referred. Are you in a LaTip group or something?
Basically, I got email from you and somebody recommended.
Recommended. So I went onto your Yelp page. 29 out of 29, 5 stars.
It's true.
I've never seen this. Especially in heating and air conditioning, because you one wrong move and there's a 1 star or 3 star, 2 star, whatever. But 5 out of 5, that's unbelievable. Now we're going to jinx it, right? No, but tell us a little bit about your backstory. What's the...
Sure. Basically, I came United States 17 years ago from Ukraine. It's my native country, Ukraine. I started working in this industry 17 years ago, and we pick it up. I pick it up nice occupation. I like it. It's pretty tough, but it's nice to work with people, dealing with people, to help people. You know?
told me in the original interview that your focus was the people, that you were passionate about just helping people.
Exactly right. I like working with people, and it's interesting job. Different people, different attitude, different characters, and so you always like dealing with people. I'm enjoy about it. It's not only to fix something, it has a deal with people, and listen story about life, and listen story about some kind of stuff. I really enjoy about it.
Yeah, everybody has a different reason why they need that AC or that heater going. I mean, they got family coming in or coming out, and kids are playing, whatever. So you worked for a larger outfit for a number of years, and then you left that. You said, I can do it better, and then started this company.
Exactly. It's an interesting story, basically. Like I said, I've been in a couple big company, and I'm start working like installer, pretty much. And after I went to trade school and finished school right here in Sacramento, I've been in school almost 1 year and was graduated and certified like service technician, and start working with big corporate, which is named as service expert, which is, this guy was very nice and would give me lots of knowledge, and I really appreciate about this company, But unfortunately, this branch in Sacramento was out of business, I believe about 10 years ago, 12 years ago. But I went to different companies, working more, and it's a good question how I opened my own business. It's an interesting story, actually. I have a family, and my wife, Oksana, and 2 boys. I have 2 boys and 1 girl. My oldest is 22 and youngest 20, and we got baby after 17 years.
That's right. There was a little bit of a gap there.
Yeah, it's my queen. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, she was born in 2012, like I mentioned, and my wife stayed home 4 months, and she's supposed to be back to work. She's working in Shriner Hospital, RT, like respiratory therapist, and she's supposed to be back to work. And we start praying, God, we need a caregiver, you know. We start praying about it, but answer was very interesting, you know. I called my boss, previous company. He shake my hand, said, "Leo, you're nice worker, but we cut your position."
That's crazy. Well, you started your company.
And definitely it was answer to me. You know, I start my own.
It is so funny how everybody I talk to that Steve Scoville back there, Pest Control Center, the only guy to ever cuss on my show.
I Steve.
No, axed. No, Steve Scoville from Pest Control Center. Give those guys a call, 916-344-4400. They will treat your home like your very own. Okay, so we'll get back to Leo. But no, it's so funny how we'll go through life and there'll be a trial, right? And that trial is a blessing. And you never realize it at the time until something else presents itself. And then it just takes your life that much further. It was just so funny. I heard a commercial the other day. It was talking about like the remedies. Like if you burn your tongue, put sugar on it, right? It'll make it feel better. Or you can not put sugar on it and it'll make you stronger. And it's exactly the same thing, because when we hit a trial, it makes us stronger, more resilient, and allows us to take that, whatever that next step is, it turns into a blessing.
It's like expression, if your life give you lemon, I will make lemonade, right?
So where are we at? What services do you offer? I mean, what all do you do? Obviously, heating and air conditioning.
Yeah, let's make a little bit to make expression about my company. We're actually growing family company. I start my own business 2012. We're almost 4.5 years in business. We're fully licensed, bonded, and assured. I'm a member Better Business Bureau and certified heat exchanger expert. And my agenda basically, I can tell, I think about customer. My agenda is be quality and friendly, affordable service for people. Quality. Quality and affordable service for people.
When I'm looking at your reviews, I'm going to read some of these off in a few minutes here, but when I look at your reviews, every single one of these are from people, I mean, just, you know, people you've helped, but every single one of them talk about integrity. Every one of them. That's extremely hard to get. And there's 29 of them, and they're all talking about integrity. Unbelievable. So what sets you apart from the competition, apart from all of that?
Like I mentioned, I can tell you just like about this one, like my expression. We try to be on a ball regarding review. I try to work in hard. I would like try to help people every time. But like I said, first of all, need thinking about people. Money is coming later. But if you'll be thinking about people...
We talked about that in the first segment. Yeah. You give 100%, they're going to 150%, they're going to give you 150% back, whatever it is. It's monetary.
It's for me, it's pretty helpful. Like my past, I've been in school, you know, just listen always people, you know, who's in business long time. I never put my nose so far. I know something. I don't know nothing. I long time in business. I always learn. It's my agenda.
We call that staying green.
Yeah.
Because when you're no longer green, you're dead.
Exactly. Always, especially this industry, you have to learn every time. Every time. Especially new furnaces, a new generation, lots of electronic devices. And you have to be step by step learning all your life.
Give me an example of where somebody called you. They'd already called somebody else. That person came out, didn't fix it. And you went out there and you were able to fix it.
That's a good question. Yeah, I remember a pretty good call. It was probably a couple years ago, and one homeowner called me from Bay Area. He was renting house right here, Sacramento, and he said, "Can you take a look my unit? Somebody told me my compressor is dead. I need new system." I went to this call, basically start doing my diagnostic, breaker start flipping. Usually it's first sign, it's like compressor possible dead. I start doing my troubleshooting and found it simple stuff. It was just low shortage switch on the ground. Compressor was completely good and alive. I fixed it about probably 20-25 minutes. It charged customer $250. And he was so happy, he saved about $7,000 for a whole new system. Everybody be saying,
and how many
happy
people,
about it, right?
How many people would have sold him a new system?
I don't blame people, but I doing my stuff. I found the problem. I said just small stuff, But I'm sure next time he will be call me and said, Leo, I need a new system.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, so many times I saw different situations like this,
Unbelievable. What's the most common problem?
This depends. Pretty much for summertime, the most common problem is minor stuff. We have a major components and minor components.
Okay.
Minor components inside, I don't want to go deeply in technical stuff.
That's fine.
But minor components inside air conditioner is capacitor and contactor and exactly like freon level, which is low. But capacitor is pretty much like battery. If its temperature outside goes above 100 degrees, battery start bulging.
Okay.
Annual life of this battery usually sometimes 6 years, sometimes 10, depend where this condenser stay. If it's in shady place, it could be working all 12 years. But if it's sunshine, like sometimes most of the time we see, it's bulging after 6 years. It's just check it out, this kind of stuff. And sometimes people start thinking, oh wow, I have to spend $1,000 and put new EC right away. It's not true.
You just fix something.
Yeah, just need to do troubleshooting.
How much maintenance should somebody do on their AC and heating unit? Should they call you out every year just to check something?
It's a great question, Quinn. Actually, I usually recommend it to do annual maintenance at least once a year for AC or furnace. People usually asking for what reason if it's my system working.
Well, you got to maintain your car, right?
Exactly.
You got to go to the doctor to get checked up and make sure that you're not growing something.
It's for sure. If you got new car, you just running and never change oil, what's happened?
Correct.
Engine is break down finally. Yeah. Same stuff AC, We have to take care about coil, which is outside coil. We clean it, wash it, and check electrical components. Prepare like unexpected breakdown, unexpected major repair. We're doing minor stuff, just like usually I offer like tune-up $70 per one visit. Doesn't matter furnace or AC, basically. I usually recommend to do it before season. Like for AC, I recommend to do it since like March, April. And for furnace, for AC, March, April, and for furnace, it's like late October. It's a good time.
So if somebody were to call you, their AC goes out today. In fact, you have an AC problem. What's going on with your AC?
Well, that's actually one of my listings currently down in Green Haven. So we had, in this 100-degree weather, had an open house the other day, and, the upstairs blowing hot air. And so we went from, it should have been 75, comfortably 75. It was 95.
Okay, so Leo, he gets the call. So Robert Doucet, just mention the name, let's make it work, right? Robert Doucet calls Leo. Leo goes, hello, dial Leo. That was pretty good, huh? So Leo answers the phone, and he goes, hey, I got an AC that's not working. How quick can you get out there to fix that, do you think?
It depends from situation. I'll try to be as soon as possible, but this is 105-degree day. Like I said, if I'm
a lot of calls.
If I'm getting a ton of calls, but if it's in the same area, I'll be try to be efficient. If it's my schedule completely full and packed, I will try to squeeze it for an hour a day. But like I said, I try to be as soon as possible.
You were telling me that you were out there still, you were wrapping one up at 9 o'clock last night.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yesterday was a long day for me. We got a lady from Roseville area, and she called us, and like I mentioned before, it was electrical issue. And plus some minor stuff on AC. We take care about this lady, and she was so happy. And
unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go to a commercial break, come back with a little bit more from Dial Leo. We're going to read some of these Yelp reviews. You got to check this out. We'll be right back.
As I drive down the road of as I drive down the road.
If Paul Revere was in the pest control business, his famous ride might have sounded something like this.
The termites are coming, the termites are coming, the termites are coming.
There's a pest for every season, so get ready because the termites are coming. I'm Steve Scoville, the president of Pest Control Center. For a termite, a home that goes unchecked is like ringing the dinner bell. The damage that termites cause to properties every year is in the millions of dollars. Our state licensed inspectors have the experience you'll need to make sure that your home and property are free from termites and the damage they cause.
Save your home, your property, and some money too. $75 off a complete termite inspection and $75 off any other pest control center service. Log on at pestcontrolcenter.com. That's pestcontrolcenter.com. Or give them a call at 344-4400. 344-4400. Get rid of those termites today. Call 344-4400.
Pest Control Center, we treat your home like our own.
Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, we have important news. Why work with an ordinary real estate agent when you can call one of the top real estate teams in the Sacramento area? Call my friend John Lauer of the Lauer team at Keller Williams. The Lauer team's time frame for selling homes is 3 times faster than the average agent. The Lauer team is so confident your home will sell. They guarantee it in writing. So if you're selling your home, call John today at 916-405-5776.
As I drive down the road in my car, as I drive down the road in my car.
Welcome back to the Good Life Show with Jon Robert Quinn, sponsored by Pest Control Center.
Welcome back to the Good Life Show. I am your host, Jon Robert Quinn, and I did write the music for the show. You can cruise over to Jon Robert Quinn, Jon Robert, QUINN.net, and check out all of my music catalog. There's 12 CDs, 13 CDs, something along those lines. Also, check it out. So the Good Life Show is coming to iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn. All of those new mediums are going to be hosting the Good Life Show now. So you can have it on your device, take it with you, listen to playlists. You literally can listen to 24 hours a day, the Good Life Show. We have that much content now. That is so awesome. So awesome. But let's get into these Yelp reviews. So you pride yourself on your Yelp, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
This is what keeps you in business, isn't it?
That's for sure.
All right, so let's read a couple of these. This is from March 31st, 2016. Dial Leo. It says, Leo was punctual, informative, and very friendly. I called him as our furnace was not lighting, and he quickly determined the cause to be the thermostat. Leo didn't do a quick look, say what the issue was, and leave. He took more time to ensure and verify his diagnosis was correct, and that it could not be a different issue. He explained how the system was supposed to work, what my system was doing, and how to fix it. I highly recommend it to anybody. I will be calling Leo for future service needs. Next one says, this is from 3 weeks ago. It says, I called Leo today, Friday. It's 100 degrees for the 3rd day in a row. I remember that. Because my AC went out, Leo gave me a 2-hour window and was here within the first hour, unlike Comcast, right?
Yep.
Said he and his partner were extremely polite and professional. They checked my air conditioner out, figured out where the problem was, and were able to fix it while they were here. Leo and his partner took time to explain everything to me. They made a point to show me the parts that they were replacing and even explain what was wrong, even showing me how they did the diagnostics and what the readings were. I was very reluctant to call this business because I had not used them before, as every time I have had someone work on air conditioning, they've tried to sell me a new one. Leo was honest and gave me a very good deal. I would highly recommend him to anyone needing this type of service plan, and I plan to use them again next spring. One more here. This is from last year. My AC went out a couple of weeks ago, and it was 105 degrees. I called Leo based on the Yelp reviews. Here we are on the radio now talking about his Yelp reviews, and he exceeded my expectations. I doubt he could be as fast and efficient every single time, but in my case, I called him within 3 hours, my AC was working, and his price was very reasonable. He provided tips on getting the most out of my unit, and I was very thankful for Leo. Would not hesitate to call him again in the future. Unbelievable.
Great review.
I mean, unbelievable. And it goes on and on. And it's so funny is I went to the bottom, and I clicked on the 11 reviews that are not currently recommended.
Yeah.
And I click on this thinking, okay, there's going to be a 4 here or a 1 star. And I'm like, okay, here we go. And then I find these guys were fantastic. They came out and checked out our AC. We ended up waiting. We ended up wanting to get a new unit. These guys scheduled time in after their initial visit. When they showed up, they arrived promptly. Let's see, when they scheduled the time to show up, they arrived promptly. In total, it took them about 2.5 hours to remove our old unit, install the new one, run all of our tests, make sure that everything was back up and running. Definitely pleased with their service and anybody who is looking for AC repair.
Yeah, Yelp does that for some reason, and the reviews are valid, so I don't get it.
But it's beauty.
That's great.
I love how somebody is out there helping people.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those in the unrecommended review. But whatever.
I've got a couple also, and it just sucks. Yeah. Anywho, but apart from all of that, what advice can you give homeowners? I mean, you're looking at right now it's hot, right? So their ACs are going to be working. The show's running in a once a month for 12-month rotation. So in the winter, when people are listening to this, what can people do for the furnace? So what advice could you give some homeowners?
It's a good advice, especially right now. It's summertime right now. First of all, keep your filter clean. Some customers don't think about it. Sometimes asking, how long ago you changed your filter? 6 months ago. Usually manufacturer recommended every month, but if you guys be do it at least one time at 2 months, you'll be perfectly good.
Now, if I'm assuming the filter is not hard to change.
Yeah, it's not hard. It just costs you probably $4, cheapest. So maybe if you go in Costco and buy a HEPA filter, if you take care about air quality.
And these are available. The filters there's a vent in their home, I'm assuming.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm asking these silly questions because there's people that are going, I have no idea where this thing is.
It took me 2 years to figure that out. Just say, probably not your
This
average,
is the guy that didn't know where Germany was, right?
And I forgot about my filters. I actually forgot about it.
Also, next tip is pretty much like we talking before. It's tune-up, regular tune-up. Especially like right now, you heat wave, everybody busy. As soon as heat wave goes down, call me for tune-up. I take care about your system. I verify, make sure its life expectancy good, I check your minor stuff, major stuff, make sure you're ready for next summer wave. It's just be $70 tune-ups. I will provide it for you and take care about your AC.
$70.
$70.
And you recommend that once a year?
Once a year for AC, once a year for furnace.
The furnace.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of what can people do in terms of their furnace? What should they be looking out for?
That's a good question. It's especially for furnace, we check heat exchanger or firebox. It's most dangerous stuff inside furnace. I don't want to scare people, but heat exchanger is heat exchanger. Flame goes inside after 10, 14 years. It's getting rusty from a moisture, from normal moisture stuff, and flame create oxygen. And after it could be corroded. We have to check it out, make sure it's no any kind of holes. We check for carbon monoxide detectors, carbon monoxide levels inside house. This is your life, it's for safety, first of all. Also, we check gas pressure. Make sure gas pressure still good, because sometimes main supplier send huge gas pressure. It's main reason crack for heat exchanger. We have to check it out and adjust it properly level, gas pressure, and make sure you're good to go. And exactly minor stuff like capacitor on flame sensor,
Older homes, should they be checked more often?
It's a good point. Like I said, once a year has been enough for furnace check, my opinion.
Wow, unbelievable. How do people get in contact with you, Leo?
That's a good question. First of all, it's my cell phone number. It's 916-224-5230. 916-224-5230.
And we're going to be putting all of your info up on our website, thegoodliferadioshow.com. Robert, what's your contact info one more time, bud?
916-850-9918 or Robert Doucet at gmail.com.
Robert Doucet and Dial Leo. All of your information will be on the site.
Also, you can check me on my website. It's dialleo.com.
Dial Leo, DIALLEO.com.
Exactly.
Pleasure. Thank you all for listening to The Good Life Show. We will see you all tomorrow night.